company SOS governance ratings, cream ratings, corporate governance, risk management, earnings, accounting quality, and management quality, constructive collaboration, CorporateMOM, corporate management orbit mission. Copyright, CorporateMOM, corporate management orbit mission.
Hello friends, another good one from CorporateMOM's table. This is about company SOS governance ratings. I'm here introducing how it is going to be the rating system for a company as a whole. SOS governance is being applied in CREAM ratings. That is, CREAM is for corporate governance, risk management, earnings, accounting quality, and management quality. Here I emphasize in this particular episode number 55 actually, on women empowerment. I'm introducing that because I feel women empowerment is going to be the most important thing, how to go about it. Prime Minister Modi has been mentioning quite often about the Nari Shakti. Shakti is the energy force. That energy force, Shakti, whereas men or women are not being fully utilized. I've made it very clear in my book the amazing capability of individuals, whether men or women, we are not utilizing it all. But what is very important is to apply what is required, particularly the value system that we are looking at, to the most important, most capable persons in our corporate entity, or the women. Hand over the, this particular area of value system, sustainability value system, very capable. Then the growth pattern for the companies are going to go in an amazing manner. Because the men only, the boys only club is have been not good at handling the, in general, you can have an exception, but in general they have mistimed all their opportunities. So this is a time that we have to empower women with a interesting the value system within a particular company. What is the root cause is the instability that is happening to the companies, or as we know, whether it's a SVB or a GE or various companies which have been handled very badly. So women empowerment I am making a mention and giving an introduction, and I'm also bringing Project Elite's CREAM technology architecture. The 17 SDGs are trifurcated to 3 pillars of 9 social, 4 environmental, and 4 economic development goals. The intention is to bring everything under one single canopy. We are looking at the balance sheets and P&L account, nothing beyond that. SOS means subject, object, self-governance. Object part of it is what we are looking at. That is only P&L and balance sheet. Here we are expanding. This is very important that we introduce this framework, SOS framework, which I am doing it. And then I'm expanding on the process blocks. As I have been telling is that those who are following my previous posts on CREAM ratings. For the CREAM ratings, we require more than 200 process blocks are there, about 188 are qualitative, and 12 are only quantitative. I am bringing here 170 and 12 about 158 qualitative elements of management as being structured. So we will make up as to what is required of the board, because the structure being given by BCM technology is threefold. One is the board of directors, one is the CEO and workforce, and the third and the most important is the society. So that is being analyzed, so making it convenient in the same manner, utilizing 3 different things like physics, corporate atomic structure, Then you have metaphysics, which is the most important thing. But how the people is the energy force. Metaphysics is the energy force. And you have the quantum physics. It is a combination between antimatter and matter, and how the matter and the energy is being utilized. And that is very interesting. It is scientifically brought to the management operating system. That's what I try to do. And it becomes simplified. Once these 200 process blocks are being measured, what gets measured gets managed. We are not able to manage anything. Let's be very clear about it. So I have indicated in my previous posts, and I thank a lot. A lot of the big firms have, say, auditing, consulting, and IT firms. I would like them to, my expression of interest I'm bringing into here for constructive collaboration. We require a amazing number of people to adopt this SOS governance rating standards to their own companies, the most important of the companies, as well as for the clientele. So this is my request. Have a look and let us collaborate. Constructive collaboration. Thank you.
Women Empowerment, an Intro, Lesson 3, Merit, Who Are You? GIRLS, an extract from the book Corporate Mom.
This course is designed to make you understand and make sure each woman is empowered and your status be measured, recorded and tracked throughout one's journey in your development in all the three spheres of influence, from an intern to a CEO to Chairman Emeritus. The most important aspect of this exercise is to develop a strategic advancement in the organization one works for, extending your spheres of influence to every other 16 SDG development goals. The course study will bring you the confidence and be aware of the responsibility for leadership at all levels of decision making, leading in each of the 17 SDG development goals. CREAM Technology Architecture. CREAM is an acronym for Corporate Governance, Risk Management, Earnings, Content Quality, and Management Quality. The 17 SDGs are trifurcated to 3 pillars of 9 social, 4 environmental, and 4 economic development goals. Goal number 5, gender equality, is part of the 9 social pillar. Will remain the main pillar for the entire 17 SDGs. Mark my word. DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, is explained vis-a-vis the 4 main techniques used by different organizations. Women's Empowerment Principles, WEP, Gender Equality Index, GEI, Gender Equity Model, GEM, Sustainable Stock Exchanges, SSC. What are they? How do they gel with goal number 5, gender equality? Based on which corporate sustainability report is prepared, wherein Operation Women Equity is the principal mover. The entire 17 SDGs depend on the success of OWE, Operation Women Equity. CREAM Technology measures, records, tracks the main beneficiary of the 17 SDGs, women, every one of them, by women equity.
Project Elite, Women Equity, Education, Learning, Implementation, Training, Execution.
Education. Rule expresses the truth and justifies the conduct. WEP, GEI, GEM, SSC are suggested rules or policies to follow, set by different agencies like UNCTAD or Bloomberg or World Bank. Justify the conduct is to ensure there is no policy accidents or policy politics. Women equity is a resultant measurement of women empowerment. In a company of say a million workforce, if 30% are women, then 300k women equity is obtained. That is the knowledge base of women equity for a single company. That knowledge base is the goal of ethics. Imparting this knowledge is the education CRIM technology provides. Number two, learning. The pulsating energy of an individual with an amazing capabilities as a pivotal energy force with a fixed value in a specified mathematical context enables the accomplishment of an infinite succession of finite purposes by controlling each goal. Understanding the concept of three laws, matter, energy, and antimatter, and its application to corporate management operating systems is crucial. What is crucial for learners is to bring the abstractions into reality, acknowledge value where value is due, and deconstruct what is valueless. That is a new form of capitalism, ethically, morally, and fairly implemented. Women equity will be the principal mover toward this direction. Number three, implementation. Make use of the skills you gain by constructing a corporate management operating system within your organization. The science and metaphysics is a compelling subject for corporate managers. Practice of corporate sustainability begins here. Pins to planes, Windows to Android. We have operating systems. How to bring about one for the individuals? Understanding the concept of three laws, matter, energy, and antimatter. Its application to corporate management with a common denominator, intangible. Pinpointing the areas where matter is energy waiting to happen, thereby identifying NPAs, facilitating the preparation of an index of inactivity by each individual and by each process block becomes the pivotal governance standard for corporate management operating system. Number four, training and Project Elite, women equity. Converts women equity to brand equity by way of training others within your area of influence. After women's suffrage came into play, what happened next? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Women empowerment would be the same if you as an individual do not take it forward. Women empowerment is the first step by which power is conferred. Then CRIM technology specifies the way forward with good governance to give that power stability. Women empowerment enters at this stage the domain of gender equality. Women equity is the stabilizing factor with the organization you are associated with. Women empowerment is an idea, just as it was for women suffrage. By 6 stages of transformation, the idea is carried to a substance of quality. Strategy Plan 2030 shall specify the organizational growth projected of qualitative as well as quantitative elements of management, with a clear identification of women equity. Then measure, record, track women equity, converting CAGR to CDGR, daily growth rate, CARR to CDRR, daily reduction rate. That is to say, construct value and deconstruct valueless. Lead from the front to occupy a seat in every task envisioned in the Strategy 2030. Project Derailed, Women Equity. Number 5, Execution. As 5.5 says, gender equality. Leadership at all levels of decision making in political, economic, and public life. The most difficult part of the entire exercise is the preparation of Strategy Plan 2030 for the organization they work for. That is the creative process. Women's suffrage, once a time, what did the women get? Nothing. That's because they didn't have a plan to start with, and thereby no plan of action to follow. Do not come out of the last stage without a proper Strategy Plan 2030 for women equity. Strategy Plan 2030 empowers you. Now get it executed. Women equity is a capability model. Strategy Plan 2030 is of gender equality. Tasks are assigned irrespective of one's gender, but of one's capability. Be ready to take the challenge, identifying where women in general are superior to men in an organization. Here is the CorporateMOM SOS governance standards. Governance is fiscal and ethical co-responsibility framework. This has CREAM report, corporate governance, risk management, earnings, accounting quality, and management quality. What I am giving after this particular framework, which has been talked about several times, and I have been including that in every one of my posts, which you can refer back in the GE case study. The detailing of the CREAM report, which I have extracted from Hindenburg, about 170 process blocks. If you knock off the 18, you have about 152 qualitative elements of management have been extracted. Indian companies have got the extraordinarily well designed way of indicating what are the areas that they have indulging in, particularly on the quality statements. So it's a good thing, and I would like to present that first. But I would very much like Adani Enterprises comparatively would be a much better information in terms of what they are doing on the qualitative elements of management and how it could be expanded in terms of what they are doing. What CorporateMOM does is only a measuring system, which is mainly of corporate management operations, which are in terms of qualitative elements like whistleblower policy and that sort of a thing. So let me first give this HEL part of it, and before that let me tell you this is what the ultimate designing, or just like a balance sheet of both. CREAM report is a balance sheet of both, that is quantitative and qualitative elements of management. Have a look at it. Have a look at the process blocks which I have indicated. The first one which I have selected is management quality. I've indicated here the board of directors. We are measuring in terms of ethical responsibility, fiscal responsibility, composition, appointment and tenure, board independence. These are the 5 factors. We come to the board business. About 19 areas which I have been indicated. This is going to be analyzed, each and every one of them, what they are doing. There had been very many instances. Actually, I was very shocked about GE really in terms of ethical responsibility. How a person like Jack Welch had finally brought down the company. I mean, instead of instituting more and more of the ethical responsibility, these 19 factors, the board business, which I have indicated here, are going to be very critical in terms of what they are doing and how it is going to be taken into account. That is where the board support is needed, and as well as index of non-performance. So we are measuring the board of directors as to what they do, and we are measuring also what they have not done to arrive at what is the non-performance aspect of it. That is the system which we have been developed in cream ratings. So similarly, we are going into the audit committee. What they are doing individually I have indicated here, and various committees, and then internal controls and risk management. What are the robust systems? Audit committee approval. These are all being measured in terms of qualitative elements, unit heads responsibility, and assurance on the internal process and systems. This can be talked about, can be indicated, but what cream rating does is to find out and how it is being rated, connected to the ecosystem. The ecosystem is by the nature. So the metrics have been brought here in terms from the nature. So you have various committees, what they perform, nomination and remuneration committee, nomination and reward policy, and we have how they are performing, various aspects of what Unilever does in the soy Unilever, and how they recruit people, and how it could be adopted by other companies. It should be very important in terms of what they're doing. Is one of the finance company, no doubt about it. There can be certain drawbacks, which I have given zero, in fact. That apart, is one of the finance company, and I would like companies to follow that. And this is an opportunity in terms of bringing the cream ratings in several process blocks. So if you look at the nomination and remuneration committee, reward policy, individually there are about 11 and totaling about 12, 22 of nomination and remuneration committee. This all indicated which are going to be done in terms of measuring system. Yes, stakeholders relationship committee, stakeholders share transfer transmission committee, then committee for allotment of shares under ESOPs, various aspects of what is being done. Then organization code of principles, business principles, COBP. It is a really good one. This every company must adopt a standard of conduct, obeying the law. Employees, mutual trust and respect. I remember the mutual trust and respect is what together for integrity. That's what Volkswagen, Dr. Herbert Diess had brought about. T for I. Similarly, we cannot doubt that what T for I represents for 700,000 employees of the company. Here we are talking about a little less, but basis of employment, etc. Everything is being indicated here. And this is the one which you have to adopt. Many companies are concentrating only on the object governance. Sale, nothing else. In fact, they are forgetting about the upstream companies, what they do, and they are not able to change the cost of production, and because of this factor. There's a lot of things that will come out of this COBP and what they have to do within one's own four walls. Organization code of principles, and organization is all being rated. I have given extensively all these things. These make a whistleblower policy, preventing conflict of interest. In fact, conflict of interest is a very interesting one. A conflict of interest, conflict of conscience, a conflict of personal interest, which is very difficult, I am telling you. If a conflict of interest, what is being done is we can very easily do it, and the board can definitely support that. But conflict of personal interest, it has happened even in IBM, where individuals have been how the conflict of personal interests have been not done in the proper manner. So we got to look into it. These are the various aspects of qualitative management. Then you have shared dealing code, and you have corporate governance, affirmation and disclosure. Corporate governance is one important aspect of it, which I like to tell is that it is on the third principle, third law of Newton's third law. If you have created, as we said in the first one, the boat business, The board business, there are about 19 items had been indicated, and if they are performed, then you will find it in corporate governance. If nothing is being mentioned out of the board business and board does what they want as a reactive mission, then we have nothing, will be zero. So if there are 19 items which are indicated in the board business, there will be 19 corporate governance standards which are being checked, and that is very important. Board business plus various aspects of SOS governance, that is what individuals have to do. That it's not object governance, it is subject and sub governance. Then we have communication to the shareholders, consumers, customers, and various aspects, which I may not agree with some of those services which they have borrowed services of retired judges. Not sure about it, but we got to look into it. Significant accounting policies. I was shocked, in fact, accounting policy again, GE had not done very well, as well as Toshiba. I think the CEO Tanaka, I remember Prime Minister Tanaka was also involved in various problems, out of which FCPA came. Another Tanaka in terms of Toshiba, where accounting policies have been in a bad shape. So give a lot of importance for the accounting policies, and whatever that I have so far indicated, and various aspects of management area, which are all mandatory. These mandatory items which are here got to be recognized with the company secretaries and as well as the auditors, the chartered accountants. They got to measure it. Unless they measure it, it will be a very difficult area of knowing what is happening around. So these are the important factors. Then you have accounting policies and as well as significant accounting policies on expenditure, R&D and advertisement expenses. Then you have business segments. That's where I said about Adani Enterprises. There are several business segments. Even though there is a common methodology of arriving at the qualitative elements of management, like the audit committee and board business and whatnot, there is independent, only the quantitative elements may differ in different business segments, and they have a lot of them. So is coordinating with these common policies and the individual business segments, which plus whatever the object governance they have to do in terms of policies and whatnot, in terms of performance. That will be the most significant aspect. Then we have fixed assets. They also have the intangible assets, I suppose. This intangible assets is one which is not governable. So try to drop it. IAS 38, intangible assets must be scrapped. That has been my advocate for quite some time. Then we have accounting policies. Then we have various aspects of in accounting policies, very business segments and investments and joint ventures and inventories and disposal of fixed assets. I found disposal of fixed assets by Hindenburg labor, enormous money. I mean, as when you are not able to get your profit motive, quietly sell one of those things. Requires a lot of, I have given in very many cases 0 point for that. When you measure it, measure with a significant aspect of the intentions as to the main area of business. And very many cases, very many years I've seen this disposal of fixed assets and joint ventures have been in a bad shape. I didn't like it as far as HAL is concerned, so I have given 0, as simple as that. Then you have P&L and balance sheet. P&L balance sheet, as we say, is least of all. We have seen, I have gone through so many, about 158 of qualitative elements. And when it comes to P&L and balance sheet, is only about 12. So object governance can be compressed with 12, whereas subject governance, it keeps expanding. If this is going to be significant in terms of understanding why the subject governance is important And self-governance is more important, particularly when you come to the whistleblower policy. Why there is a whistleblower policy? Why there is a whistleblower? And there are all significant aspects which have been coming for several years, like Enron, but we have not taken care in terms of bringing that control systems. And anybody can oppose what I mean. A secretary of the guy can very easily know what is happening within the cabin. He becomes a whistleblower. This is significant. A gentleman is not a gentleman for his valet, it says. So these are the things we have to find out, because it has that is what IBC stands for: an activity-based cost management. Activity as a cost incidence, whereas inactivity as a cost consequence. Measure cost consequence now. That's the thing. If you look at this, there are two different index of inactivity. One is by process area, another by resource area. In index of inactivity, we have CREAM, that is corporate governance, risk management, earnings, accounting quality, and management quality. And in resource area, we have ER management, especially for women equity. They take care of the ethical responsibility for a company. Then force fiscal responsibility people. One from the manager force, could be a supervisor, operating force, maybe the salesman or a factory worker, technical direction force, men and women equity, and everywhere you can have both, and finance and HR, men and women. Women take a dual responsibility. As and when they take the ethical responsibility area, they also take the fiscal responsibility. That's what I said in the SOS governance, entirely for women. Give that ethical responsibility factor. Then, if you chart the same, Lime, AI, Tesla, Uber, Netflix, Nvidia, Facebook, Google, Coca-Cola, Walmart, GE, Ford, is 0 to 5. There are two different stages. One is a creative process, another is action process. A creative process is R&D guy, innovator, IPR guy, strategy planning guy, policy maker. There are several people who work only on accounting quality and management quality. That's what I said in the SOS governance. Here, this is the policy making directives that come from the board and also from the government, and one has to create. The one is mandatory, another is non-mandatory. There are 200 process blocks, out of which 188 belongs to this qualitative items management, and 12 are the quantitative elements of management. In the quantitative elements of management, you have that earnings 1 to 3, the third one, earnings. Whereas qualitative elements of management, 188, are spread over corporate governance, risk management, accounting quality, and management quality. If there is a policy available, if it is being followed, then it is taken for granted that everything is fine. You may give a 5 marks, 5 rating of 5. But this has to be done by individual team, the team of 5. One is ethical responsibility who takes care of it, 188 of them, and the other 4 take care of the fiscal responsibility. It could be sales, it could be supply chain management, it could be accounting, and so many things. And there, individually you create what are the rating system. This is derived from the ecosystem that is by nature. So that is everlasting system. One is the, which you can see more on my book actually, I have not given here. It is 0, state of quiescence. That is, nothing is happening around. It's all idea. Then you get a conceptual idea. Then you communicate, you form a team, you formulation the policies, and bring out a substance of quality. So Strategy Plan 2030 is very critical in terms of bringing what we want to do in 2030, and you bring it back by the action process. If the substance of quality or a strategy plan has been made well, and if you are not acting upon it, this is gross. Whereas the creative policies is very subtle, subtler than the subtle. It starts with subtler than the subtle. Whereas in the action process, you got to, if you're not going to make use of the substance of quality or IPR or policy, then that particular one is in a state of insentience. Like that, there are about 200 process blocks, in 188 being the qualitative. Then same is in terms of conceptual, communication, formation, formulation, and the final one is a task accomplished. If it is a sales team, there are about 6 stages of transformation from 0 to 100. Make below 0 and above 100. You have 6 stages. Every 25% you can add to either conceptual. If your target is 100, more than 100 you get about 5. If the particular sale happens for a particular product, anything, nothing happens, is below 0 instead of insentience. So we are having a very thorough ecosystem established, connected to the nature. That is the important. So if you look at GE as such, GE has got various indicated Ford and GE as on the decline. I believe that is being based on the ex post facto quantitative elements, P&L and Balance Sheet. But that's not the case. If you really look into find out the reason why it is nothing has been done, or as is being reported about the scandals and other things and all that, you got to look at the corporate governance, risk management, accounting quality, and management quality. These 188 elements have to be measured. When you measure that, they are the raw materials for your earnings. The reason why Ford or GE are on the decline is because of lack of these qualitative elements of management being measured. That is being connected to the resource area. There's only one resource for any company, anybody. That is human resource, nothing else. That is the pulsating energy. That is the return on intangible. How each individual unit is being carried by a team of people, one taking care of the ethical responsibility, another 4 taking care of the fiscal responsibility. Each is works independently, but they are yoked together. So each team is, you get 0 to 5. So if you look at the GE, and what is the 0 to 5 in individual? Who are the people? So you create a matrix which is equal. That is the rating for this resource area and the rating for the process area, or intermingled. And when it is being done, you have connectivity in terms of who did what. That's why the 2030 strategy plan is very important. And the 4th stage, that is when formulation, it is the most important stage, where a substance of quality is created, where it is being acted upon subsequently. The creative process, I would say, is the intellectual value capital of the company, and the action process is performance value. So you have the performance index of each and everybody. It could be 5, it could be 0. So in a particular team, it could be 25, which is 5. It could be 24, it should be only 4. It could be 0, so it could be anything. That is the one which we indicate on this on Google or Coca-Cola or Walmart or GE. So you have a comprehensive intermingled rating system which will be able to identify the cause of lower earnings or higher earnings. And this is the one which I like to suggest for Deloitte to go and do it for GE if it is already not being done. Thanks a lot.